I was barbecuing in my backyard, enjoying the warm summer evening and grilling some of my favorite meats when I found the pepper. It was a bright red chili pepper that looked different from any pepper I had ever seen before. I picked it up and examined it closely, wondering what kind of spice it would add to my food. I cut a small piece of the pepper and added it to the meat. As soon as I took a bite, I felt a strange sensation. It wasn't the usual spiciness I was used to. There was something else, something inexplicable in the taste. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but it was there, and it wasn't pleasant. The more I ate, the more I felt like something was off. The meat tasted different, and I felt a strange tingling sensation in my mouth. It wasn't painful, but it wasn't normal either. As I looked around, I noticed that my dog was acting strange. He was barking at the grill and refused to come close to me. It was unusual for him, as he was usually friendly and never afraid of me. I started feeling uneasy and put the grill out. I felt like something was not right. I took the chili pepper and threw it in the trash. However, the strange sensation persisted, and I couldn't shake it off. I decided to call it a night and went to bed. But that night, I had the most bizarre dreams. I saw people eating the pepper and experiencing strange, disturbing things. It was like the pepper was haunted or cursed, and it was affecting the people who consumed it. I woke up in a cold sweat, feeling uneasy and afraid. The next day, I decided to investigate the pepper. I did some research and found out that it was called capsicum, a rare chili pepper that was said to have mystical properties. It was believed that the pepper had been used in ancient rituals and that it could bring good luck or misfortune, depending on how it was used. I became obsessed with finding out more about the pepper. I wanted to know where it came from and why it had such an unusual effect on me and my dog. I asked around, but nobody had heard of capsicum. It was like the pepper didn't exist in the real world. Days turned into weeks, and I became more and more consumed by my search for the origin of the pepper. I started experiencing strange things myself. My food would taste different, and people who ate my barbecue would have unusual reactions. It was like the pepper was affecting everything I touched, and I couldn't escape its influence. I started to feel like I was losing my mind. I couldn't think of anything else but the pepper and its strange power. As the weeks passed, I started to realize that I needed to find a way to stop the pepper from hurting people. I couldn't just ignore it and let it continue to affect the people around me. I knew I had to find the source of the pepper and figure out a way to contain its power. It was a dangerous task, but I was determined to complete it. I was ready to go on a journey to find the truth behind capsicum, no matter what it took. After weeks of research, I finally found a lead on the origin of capsicum. It was said to be grown in a remote village in the Amazon rainforest where it was used in traditional ceremonies by the local tribes. I knew that traveling to the Amazon would be a difficult and dangerous task, but I was determined to find a way to stop the pepper from causing any more harm. I started planning my trip, gathering supplies and researching the culture and customs of the local tribes. I knew that I needed to be respectful of their beliefs and traditions if I was going to be successful in my mission. I contacted a guide named Corbin, who was experienced in leading expeditions into the Amazon. Corbin was a tough, no-nonsense type of guy, but he had a reputation for being one of the best guides in the area. We met in a small town outside of the Amazon, and I explained my situation to him. I told him about the pepper and the strange effects it had on people, and he listened intently. Corbin was skeptical at first, but when I showed him some of the research I had gathered, he became more interested in the mission. We set off into the jungle, and I quickly realized how difficult the journey would be. The heat was intense, and the humidity was oppressive. The terrain was rough, and we had to navigate through dense foliage and treacherous swamps. Despite the obstacles, we made good progress, and I started to feel like we were getting closer to our destination. One night, as we were setting up camp, Corbin told me about a legend he had heard of in the area. It was said that there was a powerful shaman who lived deep in the jungle, and he was the only one who knew how to control the power of capsicum. According to the legend, the shaman had been gifted with the ability to communicate with the spirits of the forest, and he had been chosen to be the guardian of the sacred plant. I knew that this was our best chance to find the answers we were looking for. We decided to alter our course and head deeper into the jungle in search of the shaman. As we continued our journey, we encountered all sorts of dangers. We had to fend off giant snakes, avoid traps set by local tribes, and navigate treacherous rivers filled with deadly creatures. Despite the hardships, I was determined to press on. I knew that finding the shaman was our only hope of stopping the pepper from causing any more harm. Finally, after weeks of traveling through the jungle, we arrived at the shaman's village. The shaman was a wise, old man with deep wrinkles etched into his face. He listened to my story intently and seemed to understand the seriousness of the situation. The shaman told us that capsicum was indeed a powerful plant, and it was used in ancient ceremonies to communicate with the spirits of the forest. He explained that the plant had been stolen from the village years ago by outsiders who had no understanding of its true power. The shaman agreed to help us, and he led us deep into the forest to a secret location where capsicum was grown. He showed us how to harvest the plant and how to prepare it in a way that would neutralize its effects. After hours of preparation, we had finally tamed the power of capsicum. We knew that we had to destroy the rest of the plants to prevent anyone else from getting hurt. The journey had been long and difficult, but we had accomplished our goal. We left the village with a newfound respect for the power of nature and a sense of gratitude for the shaman who had helped us. With the power of capsicum tamed, it was time for me to return home. I was eager to put an end to the chaos that had been caused by the haunted pepper and to finally be able to enjoy a meal without fear of the strange effects it had on people. Corbin and I made our way back to civilization, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief as we left the dense jungle behind us. The journey had been long and dangerous, but it had been worth it to find a solution to the problem that had been plaguing me for so long. Once we arrived in the city, I immediately set out to find all of the remaining capsicum peppers that were still in circulation. It was no easy task, but with the help of some friends, I was able to track down all of the peppers and have them safely destroyed. The news of the haunted peppers had spread far and wide, and I was hailed as a hero for putting an end to the chaos. People were relieved that the strange effects of the pepper were gone and they could finally enjoy a meal without any strange occurrences. As for me, I was just happy to have found a solution to the problem. I had always been a lover of spicy food, and the thought of having to give it up was too much to bear. With capsicum finally under control, I could once again enjoy the flavors that I loved. But the journey had changed me. I had seen things in the Amazon that I could never have imagined. The power of nature was awe-inspiring, and I had a newfound respect for the importance of preserving the delicate balance between man and the natural world. I also couldn't help but think about the shaman who had helped us. He had been so wise and kind, and I wondered what other knowledge he possessed that could benefit the world. Perhaps one day I would return to the Amazon to learn more from him. For now, though, I was content to be home and to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. The haunted pepper was a thing of the past, and I was grateful for the experience that had led me to find a solution to the problem. As I sat down to enjoy a meal with friends and family, I couldn't help but smile. The world was a strange and mysterious place, but it was also full of wonders and delights. And with the power of capsicum finally under control, I was excited to see what other mysteries the world had in store for me. With the haunted capsicum pepper destroyed and the chaos it caused finally put to rest, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I had gone on a dangerous and thrilling adventure to find a solution to the strange effects of the pepper, and now it was finally over. But as I sat down to enjoy a meal with my friends and family, something strange began to happen. The food on the table started to shake and tremble, and I could feel a strange energy in the air. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but then I saw it. A small pepper with a deep red color and a menacing look appeared on the table. It was then that I realized that my journey to find a solution to the haunted capsicum pepper was not over. There was still one more pepper out there, and it had found its way to my own dinner table. I tried to remain calm, but the pepper began to emit a strange energy that made everything around it shake and rattle. My friends and family were terrified, and I knew that I had to act fast. With the knowledge and experience that I had gained from my journey, I knew what I had to do. I grabbed the pepper, and with all my might, I crushed it. As the pepper disintegrated into nothingness, the energy in the air dissipated and everything returned to normal. My friends and family were shaken, but they were grateful that I had saved them once again. But the story doesn't end there. As I sat down to catch my breath, I noticed a strange symbol on the remains of the pepper. It was a symbol that I had seen before, back in the Amazon. The symbol was the mark of the shaman who had helped me on my journey. And as I looked closer, I realized that the pepper I'd just destroyed was not a coincidence. It had been intentionally placed on my table, as a test to see if I had truly mastered the power of capsicum. It was a humbling realization, but also a testament to the power of nature and the importance of preserving it. The journey to find a solution to the haunted capsicum pepper had not only taught me a valuable lesson, but it had also prepared me for the challenges that lay ahead. As I sat there pondering the mysteries of the natural world, I knew that my journey was far from over. But with the knowledge and experience that I had gained, I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead and to continue on my quest to unlock the secrets of the natural world.